Hi, I'm Laura, and this is Layla Wellness. Today we're going to be working on a little bit of hip mobility, something we all need to keep in mind, especially as we get older. That arthritis sometimes starts to hit, and we need to keep those hips moving. Let's get started. We're going to start today's practice reclined with the soles of our feet together in bound angle, just starting to allow gravity to help us open up those hips a little bit. So bring the soles of your feet together, roll onto your back, and just allow yourself to connect with your breath and your body for a moment, maybe even placing your hands on your belly or one on your chest. And just take a few breaths that are deeper than what you normally take. You can have your eyes open or closed. And just really noticing how your body is feeling right now. On your next exhale, let's see if we can relax those hips just a little bit more. Keeping that slow, steady breath, letting the hips drop a little bit more each and every breath. Bring your hands alongside the outsides of your legs and just help the knees back up a little bit here. And take your feet to the edges of your mat. Let the knees fall together in the center and your arms relax alongside your body. Take a couple more breaths here in restorative pose while you reset your hips. And then we allow these knees to open back up, pointing straight up to the ceiling. Now we take our arms out a little bit wider, like the letter T, with your palms facing down. And we're going to windshield wiper these legs side to side, letting the knees dip toward the floor while we keep our shoulders anchored. We're starting to loosen up the hips a little bit more here. Start to pump those hips full of some synovial fluid. That's that WD-40 for your joints. Helps them get lubricated so they can move a little bit more easily. Take a couple more. You're going at your own pace. And then pause, bringing those knees to stillness. Extend out through your left leg and hug your right knee in toward your chest. If it feels good, you can certainly rotate through your ankle, point and flex the toes. And then hug that knee just a little bit tighter. Let's keep the left hand on top of that right knee. Drop your right hand alongside your body and begin to pull the right knee across the body and up slightly towards your left shoulder. Your own hip mobility will dictate just how far you can bring this hip. We want to keep our left leg and our left butt cheek on the ground here. Let's return to center. Put the right hand on top of the right knee, left arm comes out to counterbalance, and start to pull the right knee a little bit wider, supporting it with your right hand. One more breath. And we bring that right knee back to the center and extend it out on the floor. Let's hug the left knee, and both hands are on top of that left knee. Hugging it in toward the chest. Now keep the right hand on top of the left knee. Left arm goes to the floor as we drop that left knee across the body. And bring that knee back to the center. Let's put the left hand on top of the left knee. Drop that right arm out to the side as we drop the left knee to the side, supporting it with your left hand. Letting that hip soften a little bit more each time you breathe out. On your next inhale, bring the left knee back to the center. We're going to join the right knee right beside it. Hug those knees in a little bit closer and then rock yourself up to a seated position. We're going to bring our hands behind us now and take the feet back out to the edges of the mat. Use your hands to help support your body so the body's not moving around too much, and we're sitting nice and tall through the spine. We're coming back to those windshield wipers. It'll feel a little bit different than when we were on our back. Start to take those knees side to side. If you find yourself kind of walking forward a little bit, just adjust yourself back and find that position. Keeping your breath steady. And then we pause here in the center. Reset that booty if it got a little bit walking forward, and take your feet just a little bit wider. We're still going to continue to support the spine here with our hands. This time, one knee at a time, dip to the center. Our goal here is to stay as seated as we can, so we're not leaning into it. We're dipping the knee and keeping the hip from lifting off the floor. Internal rotation here at the hip is one of the more challenging things we can do. So if you only get down so far, that's totally okay. You may notice this is easier on one side than the other, and that's pretty normal too. It's very common and natural to have slight imbalances in our mobility. It just tells you what you need to work on a little bit more. Give yourself just a couple more of these dips, and then recenter the body. We're going to bring the right foot here, kind of line it up with the midline of your body, and take the left leg back behind you. We want 90 degrees at both the front and the back knee, and we're going to square up the body over this forward leg. Sit up nice and tall to start, and then every exhale, bend your elbows to allow yourself to hinge a little bit deeper over this forward leg. Take that breath in, and then as you exhale, come down a little bit more. Even if it's just by a centimeter, see if you can increase that depth every exhale. One more breath. Keeping your spine long, we want to avoid rounding over that front leg. Let's start to walk those fingers back, lift the chest back up. We're going to keep the chest lifted this time, and we're going to go focus on our back leg, lifting through the knee, and then lifting the ankle. Lifting the knee, then lifting the ankle. You may find that you can only get it off the floor by a centimeter or two, and that's just fine. It may barely be leaving the floor. It's just giving you that signal that it's time to focus a little bit more on your hip mobility. Lifting that back ankle. What we want to really work towards with our hands here is holding our body steady so we're not leaning into that ankle lift in the back. Stay as upright as you can and focus on the lift. Let's do one more knee, one more ankle. And then we just switch sides. Start with your 90-90. Bringing this front knee straight out from the body. And the back knee is coming straight out from your hip. We're going to square up through the shoulders, bring our hands on either side of this forward leg. And again, every exhale, we let ourselves drop just a little bit lower to increase that mobility. Keep in mind, mobility is about how your joints move versus flexibility, which is how your muscles move through each movement. So flexibility is all about stretching. Mobility is about putting those joints through a range of motion and trying to increase that range of motion. Keeping the spine nice and long, lean the chest, keep it over the forward leg. One more exhale. And then we start to walk ourselves back up, keeping the chest nice and tall, squared up. We're going to lift the front knee and then lift that back ankle. You might find that you get a little cramp. Go ahead and rub it out if you start to feel that. Lift the front knee, lift the back ankle. Front knee, back ankle. Do everything you can to stay stable through the upper body versus allowing yourself to lean into it, which kind of gives you that false sense of mobility. But we really want to improve the mobility. So even if it's just incremental, even if it's just a centimeter off the floor, that's okay. Just doing your best. Let's do one more knee, one more ankle. And reset to the other side. Let's windmill the hands around down toward the top of your mat and bring your knees directly under your hips. We're going to keep the fingers spread nice and wide here. Wide enough that you can see the mat between your fingers. Now lengthen out through the arms, lengthen out through the neck and the shoulders. And we're going to take our left foot and lift it toward the ceiling. We want to bring the knee as close to hip level as we can, then tip that knee out to the side. Start to pull it toward your shoulder, then aim it toward the elbow, the wrist, and then the shin parallel to the mat. Inhale, lift it up. Take that big circle around, down, and level it out. Now let's go the other direction. Down, and then reversing up. Big hip circles here. Take it back around the original direction and continue moving at your own pace, taking the hip circle one full circuit in one direction and then switching directions. Check out your neck while you're in the process of doing this to make sure you're not collapsing down into your shoulders. Let's keep some distance here. All right, let's take that foot up parallel to the ceiling and then out to the side, dropping it down right outside your left hand. We're going to turn those toes out slightly at a 45-degree angle and then allow your left knee to drop out to the side so you're resting on the outer edge of your left foot. You might want to walk your right foot back slightly or even tuck your toes under and extend the leg as we come into our lizard pose. We're going to sweep the left hand up toward the ceiling and then bring it right back down. Let's do that again. Inhale and sweep it up and bring it back down, all the while really working to keep that left knee open and us resting on that outer edge. Take one more big sweep up and down. Pause here and heel toe that front foot in between the hands. Drop down onto your right knee if you had the right leg extended. Find that length. You might want to use your blocks right here. It's a great place to help you get more depth in this low lunge, really opening up through the right hip. Give yourself a couple of breaths. And then shift your weight back and pull that left knee back underneath your hip. Returning to your tabletop position. Excuse me, we're going to head back into our hip circles this time on the right leg. Start by extending the knee or extending the leg toward the ceiling, keeping your knee level with your hip, then tip it out to the side, pull it toward your shoulder, aim it to the elbow, to the wrist, parallel to the floor, and come back up. So take that one big hip circle and then reverse the direction. Fight to keep stable across the core, so really pulling in through the belly, taking it down, up and around, and working to keep length in the arms and length through the neck. Let's do a few more rotations here. And now we're going to step the right foot just outside the right hand, toes pointed out at that 45-degree angle, and allowing the right knee to drop to the side. Maybe walking the left knee back, maybe tucking the toes under. Stay planted through the left hand and begin to rotate, opening toward the ceiling and coming back down. Opening it up. You'll notice, especially if your left leg is extended, you're really opening through both hips in this movement. Let's give ourselves one more. And plant that hand. Come down onto your left knee if you had that leg extended. And heel toe your foot between your hands to find your low lunge. Again, maybe you want to use your blocks here. I really like to use blocks to get a little bit more depth out of a hip opener when I'm in a low lunge or a runner's lunge. I think they really help you get a little bit more out of this posture, especially when you're focused on hips like we are today. Let yourself breathe through it. One more breath. And then we shift our weight back and return to our tabletop position. From here, we're going to take the knees out wider. How wide you go is really up to you. We're going to rest on the inside edges of our feet, coming into a frog pose. Walk your hands slightly in front of you, and we're just going to rock this pose back and forth. This is a very challenging hip opener, especially if you don't have very flexible hips, or you have hip arthritis like I do. You may not get those knees out as far as you'd like, but that's okay. We want to try to have our ankles coming straight down from the knees. How deeply you go here is really up to you. Give yourself just a couple more rocks, and then pause in the center. Oi. Bring the big toes together. You might want to bring your knees in a little bit wider as we come into a wide child's pose. Options are to extend your hands or maybe just stack your fists right under your forehead. Let's take 3 slow breaths here. Bringing your hands right under your shoulders. Let's roll it up. Bring the knees side by side. Come all the way up onto your knees. Walk your hands right up the body. Let's take a nice deep breath right here. Exhale. Drop your hands to the right and swing your legs out to the left so you come onto your seat. I'm going to take our feet out wide, wider than the mat. If you have a grab it. You could use a dumbbell, you could use any object, or just your imagination if you like, as we move into this next movement. We're going to focus a lot here on our hip flexors. So let's go ahead and brace our bodies using the arms. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to lift the left leg up and over, and then bring it back. Let's do the same thing with the right leg. Up and over, and bring it back. The great thing about a block is you can start to challenge yourself as you find you have more mobility. You can make this block a little bit higher. You can get crazy with it. Our goal is to sit up nice and tall and avoid leaning way back, because we're not challenging our hip flexors if we're leaning back. And here we're really focused on it. This can be very challenging. So even if you feel like I am not able to get my foot up and over the block when it's flat, that's okay. Take it away and just focus on lifting as high as you comfortably can. Let's take a couple more on each side. And pause right here. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Our bound angle, bringing your hands either to your ankles or the tops of the feet, wherever they rest comfortably. Roll your shoulders around so that we're really opening up through the chest. And then start to pull yourself a little bit closer to your feet, maintaining that nice long spine as you go. Walk the hands down just a little bit further. Every exhale, seeing if you can drop just a little bit lower into that stretch. Relaxing through the knees, relaxing the hips, open it up toward the floor. Soften your spine, roll up. Bring your hands right behind those knees and give them a little support as you walk your feet towards the edges of your mat. We're going to push onto the feet to come into Malasana. If this feels a little more intense than you like, you have a couple options. You can take your block and put it right underneath you to help give you some additional support, or lift it up to a higher squat and just dipping as low as you feel comfortable with. You can use your hands out in front to help you with your balance. You can take the hands off of the floor to challenge your balance. And if you want to really work on the hip openers, we bring our hands to heart center and use the elbows to push the knees just a little bit wider. Let's take 3 long, slow breaths right here. And on your next exhale, just allow yourself to come to the floor. Let yourself trust that it's there. And find a comfortable seated position. Maybe you stay in bound ankle. Maybe you'd like to go to cross-legged. Your choice. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe closing your eyes if that feels good. Take a moment to just soften through the body, starting at the crown of the head, and smoothing out the face. Slowing down the breath, letting the shoulders drop away from your ears. Keeping length in the spine, allowing your body to relax into every exhale. 5 breaths. On your next inhale, reach those arms out and up. Exhale, bringing your hands into heart center. May you have peace in your thoughts, kindness in your words, and hope in your hearts. From my heart to yours, namaste. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. If you did, please be sure you share it with someone that you think could benefit from it. Comment, like, and subscribe so you don't miss any future releases, especially if hip mobility is a big deal for you, because I do like to focus on it quite a bit. If you'd like to learn some more ways to integrate wellness into your everyday life, please visit me at laylowellness.com.